Hey everyone, it's Joey up here. How you guys doing? How are you guys doing? So I decided to just do a quick YouTube live and Facebook live right now to connect with you guys to answer some questions regarding the enrollment of the BaZi Wisdom Bootcamp and what it entails. And so I will try and answer as many questions as possible. And also, if you have questions, go ahead and post it here on the comment section. I'll do my best to answer right here. Okay. So, voice is a little bit bad today, but hope you guys are all right. And because we are getting ready for the class to officially kick off with the BaZi Academy starting tomorrow. Okay. Right. Good. Go ahead and let me know where you guys from. I type on the comment section, where you guys from, where you guys logging in. I can see Francisca, Jennifer, Diane, Hannah, and of course, Raymark, the omnipresent. Right. Michael Lee. All right. So some of you guys have sent the email waiting for reply. We are replying as soon as we can, and in the order that they came in. Okay, so give us some time. We'll get back to you. Okay, and registrations are going to close this evening at 11:59 p.m. Okay, Malaysia time, or GMT +8. So if you have not decided, then go ahead and make your decision today. Okay. All right. So very quickly now, let me just show you where we are at and what each module entails. Okay. Well, prior to this, maybe I want to tell you a story first. Okay. I think this story can help us with answering why bad things happen to us. Okay. In the meantime, how many of you enjoyed my Telegram story this morning? Go ahead and type an answer here in the comment section. How many of you enjoyed stories? So I'm going to share with you a very interesting story about what can we do when bad things happen. Okay, and it's of course related to how we can understand BaZi and how we can actually help ourselves. Okay, some of you might have heard of this story before in my classes, but I think stories are a very good way of teaching, a concept or a principle. So once upon a time in ancient China, there is a village, okay, and in that village, the governor has a decree from the emperor to build a shrine, okay, to build a temple, okay, a local temple. You know how it is in ancient China in a village. There's always a local shrine. So the villagers said, okay, all right, we're going to find a team together and start building the shrine. And of course, the governor would reward the village handsomely when the temple is built. So of course, a location was chosen for the temple, and of course, in all temples back in those days, it's not like now that we have all this water, for a kitchen, right? They have to create a well, right? They got to dig a well. So, but prior to that, they found a location, but there was an old well in that area. So they need to fill up that well before the construction can take place. So, you know how in those days, they don't have tractors and all that, right, in ancient China. So what they did was they found a donkey. The villagers found a donkey, and the donkey was used to transport sand and mud for the purpose of filling up the well, okay, and to prepare the site for the building of that temple. Okay, so while the donkey is bringing the sand and the mud to the site, an accident occurred one day. Okay, and the donkey got too close to the exposed old well, lost its footing, and accidentally fell into the well. Okay, now this well is an old abandoned well, so there's no water inside, or very little water inside, but the donkey fell inside. Okay, so what happens is the villagers try to lift the donkey out of the well, but cannot. The donkey is heavy, right? And the well is really, really small. Okay, so after many attempts, the villagers realized that, it would take too long to rescue this donkey. And not to forget, the villagers are thinking, all right, they have a deadline to meet, right? Because they have to deliver this whole temple for the governor, because this is a decree from the emperor. So what they decided is they decided to sacrifice the donkey. Okay, so what they do is the villagers decided that, you know what, they're just going to shovel the sand and the mud into the well, thinking that, well, they have no choice but to just bury the donkey alive. Now, the donkey, of course, realized what was going on, and of course, very frightened, right? And so it began to wail pitifully, right? Basically, how a donkey is wailing pitifully and sorrowfully. The villagers heard the donkey, but ignored the donkey, right? Because the value of the donkey wasn't much compared to the rewards they would be getting if they continued to shovel and fill up the well, right? So after a while, the wailing stopped, right? So the villagers like, oh, what happened? Why is the donkey already dead, or did he just give up? What was going on? So the very curious, all the villagers very curious, and they start looking inside the well. Okay, so surprisingly, they saw that the donkey was well and alive. Okay, so what happened was when the sand and the mud and all that that is poured down on him, this donkey just shrugged it off and began to stamp around on the sand and the mud until it was tightly packed below its foot. So this formed a solid ground that lifted the donkey a bit higher and higher and higher. Okay, so eventually the donkey got high enough inside this well. With one powerful leap, the donkey is able to jump out of the well. So amazed by this, the villagers watch as the donkey is like trot off with his head held high, very proud. Okay, now, so I know this story is like, what's the whole moral of the story? Well, it's just like that, right? Think about it. Aren't you and I just like the donkey in sometimes that we all have days when we feel we are trapped, just like inside a well, right? We can't get out of the well. And there seems to be a never-ending stream of mud and shit and sand, whatever is raining down on us, and most likely thrown by other people, right? So we encounter adversity. The first impulse for most people is to complain, right? To complain. So we ask ourselves, like, why does this shit like this always happen to me, right? What have I done to deserve all this? Just like the wailing donkey, right? Our grievances have no effect whatsoever on the people around us, right? The sand and mud and shit continue to fall on us. So even expressing outrage and feeling sorry for ourselves doesn't change anything, right? So in this story, the donkey came to realize that all this wailing pitifully, it's just futile, right? There's nothing you can do. In real life, many of us is like that. We're not quite as intelligent as the donkey. So we even though we know that we don't do any good to us, but we still cry over the spilled milk. We wallow in our own bitterness. If you think about it, right? And this pattern, right, is repeatedly frustrating, followed by all the complaints and frustration and complaints, and we get into more frustrations, and we fall into this pattern that we just cannot be our best, right? The cycle of negativity prevents our mental state from being resourceful. So sometimes we are not as smart as the donkey, right? So one way to break out of this pattern is to realize that that we ourselves had a hand in our own fate or destiny. If you think about it, right? Notice how the donkey was the one that brought the sand and the mud and all that to the well in the first place. And realize it or not, this is like an irony, right? He is the one that initiated the problem in the first place and then complain about it later, right? You just think about, some people in our lives, we see that they just can't stop complaining how miserable their life has become. Just like some people who complain about being in a large organization, working in the company, always constantly under pressure, and don't get along with co-workers, right? I'm trapped in this damn company. I'm so miserable. I need to get out, but I can't. I need to pay the bills. I've heard of this complaints before, right? So some people complain, right? So they've forgotten that, a lot of people forgotten that years ago, that person is the same guy who applied for that opening the job in the first place. Just like the donkey, right? They brought the sand to the well in the first place. Just like people are complaining about their job right now, you're the one that applied for the job in the first place, right? The goal for some people was to work in a large organization and of course competed against a lot of other potential candidates aggressively to get that job in the first place. And then after even if you're not partially responsible for it, for the misery, that some people have to realize that they are the ones that brought themselves to the place in the first place where the problem was. So instead of questioning ourselves, what have I done to deserve this? Rather, we should say, what have I done that caused this? Right? So if we just break out of the complaining mode and try to look at ourselves from the perspective of our BaZi, we come to realization that there's value in almost everything that we do. Even the things that we normally consider that are bad things, right? So our BaZi is supposed to tell us what we can learn from these problems, right? Like, in this case, a lot of sand and mud and shit, whatever is thrown our way. There's always some way for us to turn these negative things into positive things. So, we deal with the adversity itself, right? We need to be able to shrug it off, just as the donkey did, right? To shrug off all this adversity, the mud and the sand off the body, right? And then step on it in order to, elevate ourselves, right? We need to recognize that, sometimes the events do happen, but what can we learn from that event instead of, the crucial distinction is what we do not see as a personal effort here that can help us elevate from that situation, right? You think about it, the villagers continue to shovel shit and mud and all that for their own reasons, if you think about it, right? Not because they hated the donkey, right? If you think about it in our lives, a lot of bad things happen to us and we think that the universe is against us or the people is against us, but really it's not a personal attack. These attacks are not personal, right? It's just that people go about their lives. We just happen to be in the way, right? And when we make use of this, we then make use of all this negativity and we can use it as a foundation for us to move up, just like the donkey did with the sand and the mud and all that, building blocks, right? So building blocks that increase our chance of getting out of that situation, right? For example, someone may have leveled some really serious criticism on us, against us, right? Talk bad about us, they criticize us, right? Whether or not there is any truth in their criticism, right? It shows that we can still improve. And whether it's a baseless attack or whether it's a whatever attack it is, opinions, they're just opinions, right? If we can use it, we can learn from our BaZi. What can we gain from this to use it as a constructive tool to help us improve? We are one step higher out of that well that we are in, okay? Well, sometimes maybe someone got in our way and blocked our path, right? It's an opportunity for us to reinforce our determination, right? And strengthen our own resolve, increase our own flexibility in our lives and find a way around the obstacle, right? Or maybe someone has abandoned us, right? Someone has abandoned us, turned their back against us on a promise, something, maybe that lesson can teach us what can we, learn to become independent, what sort of strength we can get from our own BaZi to become self-sufficient. So that ultimately, from our own BaZi, we can become, reliant on ourselves, right? So maybe someone has spread some vicious and untrue rumors about us, right? They're haters everywhere. Come on, right? I mean, who has no haters in life, right? Maybe there's a reminder that we can live in such a way that no one can actually affect us if we are not affected ourselves, right? So it may reveal some true nature about the people around us, but hey, at the end of the day, what can we do for us? Can we step on this mud and sand in order to elevate ourselves? All right. So if you look at from this perspective, we realize that there's a lot of things the BaZi can show us, even if a negative events in the past, we can turn it into situations where we can make improvements in our own lives. Okay, so no matter what kind of sand or mud is falling on us, we can step on it and use it to elevate ourselves to a higher purpose. So that's what this BaZi is about. It's like a stepping stone, right? Just like the donkey jumping out the well, we will be able to transcend beyond the mud and sand and shit that people throw on us, and negativity or adversity no longer have any power over us, as as well as they even though they exist, but we can step on it and not be bitter on things like this in order for us to improve. We're no longer trapped in the well. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is what studying BaZi is like. Okay, so I hope that this story and sort of illustrates that why we want to study our BaZi. We study our BaZi so that we understand even if bad things happen, there might be an important lesson behind those bad things that we can actually use to actually become better. Okay, right. So with that, I want to tell you what the whole package actually includes here, because a lot of you guys might still be thinking, okay, so about this program, is it a good program? Should I go with it? Now again, if you are joining me for this program, and I know it's an investment that some of you guys might find it a little bit difficult to invest. Now, if you are spending your food money on this, then please don't register. Okay, listen, this is a course, it's learning. It should not put you in a situation where you're going to suffer. Okay, then I would recommend that you don't. But if you have a little bit of extra money, I would, of course, encourage you to invest in your education if possible. Okay, so again, I just want to explain to you, for those of you who are taking this step to educate yourself, I congratulate you. I welcome you to the BaZi Wisdom Bootcamp. Now, what this bootcamp is about, it's this. Okay, so I just want to tell you that the whole package here, it's you are signing up for the bootcamp that will take place in May. That bootcamp is a live 3-day thing, and I will show you what the topics entail. But at the same time, this bundle that we're talking about right now includes the Destiny Management, which is the BaZi Academy we just filmed. And it also includes the BaZi Academy core modules. It also includes the advanced track. It also includes a 12-month subscription to the new Destiny Explorer 2.1. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is the price of all our courses. Okay, now if you have seen this in our website and our enrollments, BaZi Academy first launched in 2018. That was the core modules, and it was for $1997. It still is if you sign up or enroll in that program independently. If you're independently joining an advanced track, which was released a year later, it was also $1997. And this year, we are going to launch BaZi Academy 2021 after I complete the filming, and it will be standalone $1997 as well. And of course, the BaZi Bootcamp, which we will continue to start enrollment, is also at $1997. All my courses are $1997. That's the standard price for enrollments. Okay, it's not a surprise. You know about that. If you've been following my work, you've been joining my classes, this is our standard price for the enrollment. What we are offering here is that if you're joining us right now, this offer ends tonight at 11:59 p.m. GMT +8. If you would like to join us, and it's within your means, of course, then join us. That means you are signing up for the bootcamp, which takes place in May, but we are giving you the BaZi Academy 2021, which I will be filming and should be ready in Q2. And we are also giving you access to BaZi Academy, the full program, the original core modules. And we're also giving you the advanced track, and we're also giving you the 12-month access to the Destiny Explorer. So this whole package, which in the past is an independent package, it's all inclusive. Okay, so if you find that this is value for you, then I do recommend that you join us now before the timer runs out tonight. There will be 11:59 now. Once we close the enrollment, we will reopen enrollment only in 15 to 18 months time from now. Okay, just like the BaZi Academy in the previous classes, like Design Your Destiny. Okay, so we have not opened Design Your Destiny for a long time. Grow Rich with BaZi has been closed for more than 3 years now. Okay, so this is how we run the program. So if you feel that this is something that you want to do and you find value in this, and of course you're not spending your food money on this, then I do recommend that you do join us for this program. This is I believe is a very, very good bundle, and the price is basically $199 for everything. Okay, so I want to take an opportunity to explain what are the modules here. All right, so these modules that you see right now, this is the modules that I'm going to film. This is the new program. This 12 parts here. Okay, this is it's about destiny management, personality profiling, and life transformation. You've seen part of it, but I'm going to refilm quite a lot here, and we're going to launch this around Q2. But what I want to stress today is these two programs: the original best-selling BaZi Academy, the original core modules, as well as the advanced track. Why is it important? Let me show you here. Okay, so if you can see here, these are 14 core modules that comes with the package, the bundle this time. So if you are joining me, it starts with When Destiny Calls. This is about destiny. How do you actually understand what is in the destiny chart, and what is your basic capacity, and how do you expand that capacity? I also talk about a person's wealth capacity in this program. A wealth capacity is very important because a lot of times people actually don't have a compulsion to actually go and create value in their life. That's why they constantly struggle with income and wealth. I think it's important. This cycle is a vicious cycle, right? Until one point you start to leap out of that, we're going to feel like we're going to be in a donkey in the trap. Like, when will one day we become rich? Well, the one day is the day that you realize that you can shrug off the mud and sand and step on it to get out. I know it's a chicken and egg situation for some people, but I do hope that the last 4 days of free teaching would enable you at least learn how to shrug off some of the mud and sand. The further parts will be in this program. This will get you started in BaZi, understanding how you can expand that wealth capacity. Some people's capacity is limited. So how do you actually amplify the value? How do you actually learn to raise capital? For all the ideas that we have in life, it requires funding to actually make our dreams come true. If you think about it, right? All our ideas in life requires funding. You cannot have a dream that is just free. We have to have some way create the value to raise the funds to make our dreams come true. So this core module talks about raising capital, amplifying our values in life. How do we find resources when it seems that life don't have any resources? How do we become resourceful? How do we awaken our hidden talents? And this is the part where everyone wants to know, which is the deep dive on the 10 gods. This is the traditional approach to what the 10 gods entails, meaning 10 stars in BaZi. Stuff like eating God, hurting officer, direct wealth, indirect wealth, 7 killings, direct officer, indirect resource, direct resource, friends, and rob wealth star. So these two parts, we go deep into this module 8 and 9. We go deep into these 10 stars. And we talk about creating and managing change. Our entire life, we have a lot of issues when we come to change. How do we handle it? How do we manage it? Okay, I just want to answer this one question here from Elena. Would love to join this bootcamp. Will it be available to purchase later? Yes, absolutely, but without the package. Okay, Ilona, you can join the bootcamp in May, but it will just be the bootcamp without all this that you see right now. There will be no BaZi Academy core modules. There will be no advanced track. There's also no access to the Explorer. You have to buy them separately. But if you're joining us now, this whole package is given. That's why I'm trying to emphasize here this, that we have everything here included for you, which means you are essentially signing up for one program for 5 things. Okay, so if you see value in this will be a best time to do it. You can of course do that later, but then it will be just that program, same price. Okay, same price. All right. So we're going to talk about synastry in module 10 here. Synastry means, how do you see you in someone else's chart? How do you see that person in your chart? What's the affinity? How do we get connected? How does your lives intertwine with one another or interrelate? And then here's the popular one topic, module 12, BaZi career options. How do you actually select career options? Okay, so and what is the how do we know which is the right career field we should join? Okay, we should do, right? And dynamic analytics, annual forecasting. How do you relate the chart into the year, right? And of course, monthly forecasting. How do you do that? So these are called the core modules. Okay, core modules. If you feel this alone is $2,000, it's $1,997 back in those days when we first launched it. Now it's inclusive in the package. Okay, so someone's asking, is there a limit to using the Destiny? No, there's no limit to plotting the charts. You can plot 100 charts if you want. Yeah, the limit is limited to one user, so you can't share it, and it's 12 months. Okay, so that's the limit. But in between now until until the subscription ends, you can print as many charts as you want. Okay, so that's the value. This is only the first package that's included. We have, and this advanced tracks. Okay, check this out right here on my screen here. This is an advanced tracks. We go on to talk about the chaotic balance. What does it mean to find the balancing element, right? How does chart balance? How do you find the so-called favorable element, right? Shifting palace. How do you see? Let's say now you can see the destiny or the relationship of your spouse from your destiny chart, or you can see from your destiny chart your girlfriend. If you have a girlfriend you are hiding, where is that girlfriend in your life, right? Or you can see this. Basically, you're doing that spy work on somebody from your own chart. How are you related? Like, you can see your children's life from your chart. This is called shifting palace. Okay, so how does the program explain weekday masters? So how do you, first of all, how do you find the weekday masters, right? That's the chaotic balance method, right? So that's how you see it, right? And then there's people management through BaZi. There's strategic alliances from BaZi. How do you see that? How do you see investments from the BaZi perspective? How do you see clash, and how do you dissolve a clash, right? How do you dissolve a harm in a BaZi? How do you talk about dissolving a punishment relationship in the BaZi? How do you deal with missing elements? This is a big topic, right? If an element is missing, how do you deal with it, right? Extreme situations, right? They dealing with extreme situations like super vibrant charts, super weak charts, right? Dealing with very special conditions, or death and emptiness, DEs, right? People are talking about, what is the DE in my chart? Well, it's all here. These are called the advanced modules. All right. So let me explain now. So these two packages alone is it's 1997 each, but we are including this in this year's launch enrollment for the bootcamp. So basically, what you're doing here is you're joining the bootcamp, and we're giving you, as part of the package, all this, the academy, the to be filmed, which is BaZi Academy 2021, the core modules, BaZi Academy, as well as the advanced track, and then access to Destiny Explorer for the 12 months. So all this together, right, is part of the package. So, and basically you're only signing up for this one thing. So if you feel that this is something that you've been thinking about, again, I wish to stress that you're joining this, you join with maybe a little bit of your extra money, right? Don't join me if this is your food money, okay? That is not a wise investment, okay? If you are going to spend your food money on this program, then no, okay? I feel really bad that you do that. But if you have, okay, I have a little bit of extra money, I'm going to invest it in my education, then by all means, I believe that this is a very good investment for yourself. It will be for you to shrug off all the problems and issues that you've been facing from circumstances, and learn to step on all that to jump out of the well, to escape these problems, right? To be able to find a way out, and to learn a new skill, to be able to become better, to improve your life, right? But if this is something that you've been thinking about to attending, then this is something that I think you shouldn't dwell too long on it because the closing is tonight, okay? So a small group of you are undecided because you have this, right? There's too much going on in my life right now, and I don't know whether I can take it. There's so many things to learn, right? Okay, let me tell you this. Once the modules are released, we release them like 2 or 3 a week, all right? So the modules is modular. Once it's released, you have lifetime access, which means you can study it as and when you're free. Although I recommend that you follow the schedule, but if you have too much going on in your life right now, you're busy, you have other events, no problem. You have time, okay? Lifetime access to it. You just want to benefit from the package that we have right now, okay? So listen, in basketball, it's like that, right? Missing the shot is always better than not taking the shot at all, right? So these modules will be there. Even if you miss the live release, as they release the modules, you can always join them back next week or week after. So there's no issues right here, okay? So time is not a problem. And some other people have this question. There's always next year, right? I can join you next year. Today is a gift, tomorrow is a mystery, guys. What is certain is tomorrow is never a promise. This same package will not be there next year. I may not launch BaZi Academy next year. It may be a different program. I might focus on maybe Yijing or something else. If you're really not ready, you can always think about the next 24 months, next 18 to 24 months. But the question here is this: what's really going to happen from now until then, right? From now until then, are you going to be happy with the same old without a new skill set? That's what we're thinking, right? So are you going to leave it to to your boss, your customers to decide your fate? You think about it. Or are you going to leave your happiness in the hands of other people during now until the time that you're going to join us? Okay, and of course you can do this yourself. I am by all means, right? But joining us will mean that it's faster. It'll be 3 to 4 months to reach the goal, because by May you would have gotten a lot of information. So I wouldn't say you can't do this by your own. Some people actually do study on their own. It's not a problem, but it might take a couple of years. Well, I've taken a lifetime to study this. Maybe for you guys, maybe you're smarter. It may take you 3 to 4 years, right? But if you want all our experience, the Team JY and the support and all that, then maybe this 3 to 4 months is something you can commit, and learn, right? So we can help you with this. So are these items in the program for lifetime access? The answer is yes, with the exception of the Explorer. The modules are lifetime access, Zenying, okay? So yes, you can refer to them anytime. Now, some of you say, I don't know if I can do it, right? I mean, it's easy for you. You might be talented. Okay, here's my thing, my request to you. Learn to trust yourself, right? I mean, what's the harm in trusting yourself? If you don't trust yourself, how do you expect others to trust you in the first place, right? This pandemic is a great teacher. It's a big wake-up call for a lot of us. It amplifies who we really who we really are, our values, our capabilities, right? And if you think about it, the pandemic is like a big wave, right? When times are good, everybody does well. When times are bad, you see who's swimming naked. That's what Warren Buffett say, right? Now is a time where you truly need to have real skills to be able to survive and thrive in this pandemic. Those days when market is good and everything is good, everyone can do well. But now you really need real skill. If you're not going to make self-improvement, then then you still got to find a way. I mean, if it's not this program, it's some other way, right? Some other way that you got to do to make an improvement. So lastly, I know this is a question that everybody has, is I'm not sure if I can afford it, right? Now, listen, I agree. For some people, you cannot afford it because this is your food money. And if that's the case, don't do anything else until you make sure you stabilize your food money, all right? You don't want to sacrifice that. I'm okay with that. But for those of you who can learn to have skin in the game, I mean, you can afford $220 extra a month, right? Then $220 is how you can get started. So $220, if you have that, right, and it doesn't put you in a situation where you're struggling, right, then use that $220 for your own investment in this program. This is what I recommend, right? So if you have $220, if you think of, let's say, saving that $220, then think about in the last 12 months, if you had saved that $220, what has it done for you? $220. You think about it, right? Yeah, if you don't have $220, maybe it's just a little bit that you're going to fill up the $200. Have you tried asking for help? Don't ask for help for free, guys. Think about it. I've always said this in my Telegram. You got to think of something value to return to that person if you're asking someone for that help. Sell your time, sell your services. You have to have skin in the game, even if it's not for this program. If for other investments, right, in your life, to study anything, you still have to have skin in the game. You still have to be able to offer value to other people. At some point, the cycle of not being able to afford have to break. Otherwise, when is it ever going to end? You can think about it, right? This is how the real world works. You got to be able to offer something to other people in value in order to exchange for $220. If you think about it. So I know some people are like, oh, I'm too afraid to think about this. Even if it's not for BaZi, right? You still have to confront this money problem at some point in your time, right? So, you got to have that value, right? So the irony is this: the BaZi is supposed to be able to help you to do that. So if you can invest in BaZi, you can study how you can find a way to break free from this never-ending cycle, to be able to find your value so that you can offer it to the world. So if you truly want to help yourself and you want BaZi, then do try and join me. If $220 is something you can find for yourself per month. If you find that this is something that you can do, then I'll see you inside the program, okay? The offer ends tonight, okay? If it's not you, if it's not now, then when? And if it's not you, then who? Think about this important question, as I want you to think about this all the way until tonight at 11:59 p.m. You can make that decision to join us. This package that you see, this package ends tonight. And once it ends, each of this program that you see on your screen right now is an independent program, and each one is $1,997. But today, you're joining all this for just one fee. And in fact, we have a new added bonus for you. Anyone who's joining right now will get the 5 elements for health matters and early detection. And we are also including the 5 elements in love, romance, and betrayals. So if you're joining us right now, this live stream via Zoom, we will include these 2 packages inside. So this is a summary of all the package that you are seeing today. Okay, it's $1,997 for everything here that you are seeing. That includes the group coaching we're including. Okay. Oh, by the way, the limited bonus in the spiritual awakening is already full, so that's gone because someone took action early and they already got that. But don't miss out on these 2 new bonuses that we have, because everything that you see on this page ends at 11:59 p.m. GMT +8. It ends tonight. Okay. So I hope that you will make that decision before the closing, and class officially begins in 12th of March. The modules will going to be trickled down, and every 2 weeks, every week there will be 2 or 3 being released. And then, of course, I believe you will be gaining momentum with the study of BaZi. So you already studied up to this point. Let us be your guide, right? Let us be your sculptor. Let us be, helping you. It's going to be a lot of hammering and chiseling, but maybe you're going to become the statue. If you've heard my story this morning on Telegram, right? You want to be the marble that is going to turn out to be a beautiful statue where you're going to get the appreciation and the rewards of life, rather than the same piece of marble that came from the same quarry, but everyone stepped on and not even noticed in life. Okay, so hope you guys can make that decision quickly. The point is right now, okay, so hopefully you will be able to see this. Okay, I'm going to pick a few questions here. Okay, yeah, based on self-study, it took me 12 years. Yeah, so self-study takes a long time. It's rewarding, but it takes a long time. The thing with right now is many people don't have the time, okay? So this is the fastest way to get there. Will JY be conducting bootcamp? Yes, the bootcamp is conducted by me personally, so not to worry. Okay. How do you apply the installments? If you go to joeyup.com/wisdom2021, the details are there, and it should be able to tell you about the installment plans. Or you could email us at askme@joeyup.com. That should give you the emails are in there. You can actually contact us, and we will respond as soon as we can. Okay. All right. Why is it 1197, it says 2340 USD in one time. That is because of VAT in your country. Okay. To get more information about VAT, some European countries have that. You can contact the team. They will tell you about it, and maybe you are subject to VAT, maybe you're not. So you can talk to us, and they can give you some details. All right. What is a good source to learn BaZi basics? Well, you can read my books. I have written 7 books on BaZi. You can search for Joey Yap Destiny Code. They should get you started, but it's a long journey though, self-study. No problem if you can have the time, or you can join our program. All the notes with the modules are downloadable, so you can download the notes as well to support your studies. Okay. Right. So I hope you guys would make that decision to join us very quickly. This registrations, enrollments officially close tonight, okay, at 11:59 p.m. And all the bonuses right now, the limited bonuses, everything ends tonight, okay? So I hope you can join us at the program. I will see you inside the BaZi Academy as well as the BaZi Wisdom Bootcamp. Thank you so much for listening. And we look forward to being able to serve you in your journey in the study of BaZi. Thank you so much.